Welcome back to the channel. This week I've been behind the wheel of a very special 2024 Mazda MX-5 RF. Now, I've never driven a Mazda MX-5 in my life. This is my first experience. It's the RF with the retractable hardtop, not the soft top version, and I also have the Grand Sport Touring package. And I can just tell you, I absolutely love this thing, and I understand why everybody else does too. So today I'm going to take you around the entire vehicle, exterior, and then we're going to take a look at the interior, and of course POV drive, top up, top down. I'm going to show you everything I possibly can for this Mazda MX-5. Let's get right into it. So starting off here with the front end for the Mazda MX-5, it looks absolutely aggressive, and I absolutely love this red paint color. It looks so good. It's one of the best reds I've ever seen. Really highlights the body lines. Really nice daytime running LEDs right here. You can see we have a little bit of a front splitter there as well. Kind of a piano black front, but everything just flows and looks super nice. I am just such a fan of the new design, the new facelift, and everything in between. You can also see there's a slight film up here. Mazda does this on quite a few vehicles actually. You can kind of see there's a little bit of like a paint protection up here for the front end, so your front end's always going to look nice and aggressive, and I like that. So next, let's talk about what is under the hood for this MX-5. I have the Skyactiv G 2-liter 4-cylinder engine. It's giving us 181 horsepower, 151 pound-feet of torque. Now we also get rear-wheel drive, and I've got a 6-speed manual transmission with a helical limited slip differential, so it's going to very much help in those corners. Now I mentioned I have the Grand Sport Touring package. That's giving us some highlights there. For the package is 17-inch BBS forged wheels. I've also got the red painted Brembo brakes, and I've got a tan leather interior. So let's move on to the side. You can see how cool it looks with the top up. I'm going to put the top down in just a second, but let's zoom in here. We have those BBS 17-inch forged wheels with the gunmetal finish, and you can see the Brembo brakes there are painted. Little turn signal LED right there, very nice. And then we have the black, piano black mirror cap there, and that is also, I believe, a GSP package, so I think they can also come painted if you prefer that, but I like this look too. Heading on to over here on the side door, you can see I have a one-touch lock and unlock button. Also, when you open the door, since it's frameless, it comes up and goes down. Don't know if that'll freeze up in the winter, but don't know if you're going to be driving this in the winter. Got the standard gas cap, same thing, nice back wheel, looks just as good. BBS, man, I love those rims. Let me just zoom out a little bit so you can see them. It just looks so good in the black. Usually I'm not a fan of black rims, but on this one I'll take it. It's super nice. Then we come along to the side. You can see I do have a little bit of trunk space, which I will show you. Really nice tail lights here. Small little black spoiler that goes all the way along. You got the Skyactiv G, Mazda MX-5 logo. The backup camera's right here. The two twin exhaust pipes are right there. Not a huge sound, but decent enough for what you would want out of this thing. And if you look from the side here, you can see the fender flares on the wheels. I love this thing so much. It's such a cool thing to look at from any angle. Okay, last but not least, I'm gonna show you the trunk. You can open it from the inside. You can also open it from the little button right under here. Sometimes it's a little bit difficult to find. There we go. And it pops the trunk, no problem. You can see I have plenty of space for, I've got like a cleaning rag, so when I'm filming, but I was able to fit my bag in here this week, absolutely no problem. You've got kind of like this cargo net, so like maybe you're not gonna fit some massive golf club. Maybe you can fit some mini putt clubs in here, no problem. But I think that's as far as you're gonna push it. You might need to use your passenger seat for your full golf clubs, but still, it's enough that it's practical enough to, like, for like a little day trip, you can fit a little bag in here. It's very roomy for that, and I think it's actually pretty deep, so pretty surprised by that actually. So last but not least, I want to show you what it looks like with the top down. So let me show you how to do that as well. You're gonna sit in the car here. You don't have to be in drive or anything to do it. You hold the button right here up, and you're gonna see the lock release. The back is gonna open, and everything's gonna fold back there. It takes a lot longer than the soft top, but I don't know. I kind of like the look of the. Oh, it wasn't done. See, if you don't keep holding it, it doesn't finish. There you go. I got to talking before it was done. See, that's the good thing too. It will tell you as well that it wasn't finished. And now you can see what it looks like from the side with no roof. Oh, I don't know. It looks even better. And usually you would fold the windows down as well here, so we could do that. Automatic powered windows down, not back up though, but that's fine. So there you go. That's windows down as well. Looks really fantastic. That interior, we're gonna get to it in a second, just looks good. But a quick little walk around here of the vehicle with no top. this is the way that I like to drive it. In the summer, in the heat, I don't care if I'm sweating. I just love to feel the wind and to, you know, hear the engine just that much more. It is absolutely wonderful. So now that is going to do it for the exterior tour of the Mazda MX-5. Let's hop in the interior, let's go through that, and then of course POV drive coming right up. All right, so there's no rear seat, so we are starting with the driver's seat with the front seat, because that is all that exists. Open the door, see the frameless window there. So really nice paint matched. On the inside, you can see it's the same color. It looks absolutely fantastic. We got like this carbon fiber looking thing here, as well as the tan leather. Very nice. I love these two colors together. They look so good. MX-5 carpets right there. You can see I've got the 3 pedals, as well as the trunk button is there as well. Taking a look at seating controls, it's all manual. This guy kind of just elevates this side of it. And then we have a bar right here that can adjust you further forward or further backwards. Then we have this guy that's going to adjust this side. You can see we also have a Bose little badge right here. That's because we have Bose speakers inside of our headrest, both the driver and passenger. So that's very nice. But let's actually hop in here. Now, I am not a small or short guy. I'm 5'11", so even with the seat back almost all the way, I kind of could use a little bit more, as you know, just leg room. But when I'm driving manual, I kind of prefer to be close. So in the automatic, I maybe would be a little bit more uncomfortable. But since I'm moving the feet around so much, the seating position here is really good. So we're greeted by this nice and big steering wheel. It's quite big for the car size, and I like it. Gives me a lot of feeling, a lot of control. I've got cruise control settings right here on my right hand side, as well as the media controls on the left. That's it. That's all you need. Cruise control stuff, though, probably never going to use, honestly. Then we also have a mix of like digital and an analog kind of gauge cluster there. There's not much to go over. You know, if I click info, you'll see my trip info, stuff like that, gas, and then total mileage, stuff like that. But there's nothing really else. I love the fact that the tach is right in the middle and my RPMs are in the middle, because that's kind of what you're paying attention to, and then the speed is off to the right. But everything's very easy to see here. There's not a lot of things to go through. You'll notice there's a little screen there. It's going to show you what gear I'm in, and also suggest what gear to go in for the best fuel economy, which obviously I listen to only sometimes. We do have, though, automatic rain wipers, which is really convenient, especially when you're driving this thing. It's quite sprayy when the roads are really wet. Then we have a traction control partially off, traction control fully off, as well as the assist fully off, and the sounds fully off as well. Then we have the automatic high beams on or off, which is really good. Circular vents in here, I really like it. I really just love the design when you look. We've got a good mix of black plastic, and then also the outside element kind of creeps in. Looks really good when this top is actually down. I'll include a couple of shots of that happening, as well as a couple of shots of the top actually down while I'm speaking to you. And of course, when we drive, I will also take the top off at a certain point on the POV. So I'll give you kind of everything, top down, top up. I'll show you both. So that's to come. Then we have our digital infotainment display. It is bigger than the previous generations. You have built-in navigation, although I don't have the SD card for it right now, so I can't show you it, but it is there. But usually you're going to use your wireless Apple CarPlay, wireless Android Auto to do that. There's not a lot in terms of settings. You can kind of play around with the sound settings, vehicle settings. Like you can see here, there's really not much going on. You can turn on your rain sensing wipers, stuff like that, turn signal stuff, doors, but nothing really driving wise, because everything is actually perfect. I'll tell you that right now. Then we have a single zone automatic climate control, but it's not digital, and you don't care because all the things here are easy to understand. You can see I can leave it on auto, but I just kind of like to control it myself. They didn't really even need to put an auto. The fact that it's here is pretty nice, actually. So yeah, very easy to control. I've got heated seats as well as this button here where I'm either going to hold down or hold up to bring the top up or take it down. Does it by itself. But I think you can only be going 10 kilometers to do it, and also it's just easier to stop and do it. It takes about 8 seconds, I think. So yeah, and then there's a perfect place for like my wallet, but it looks like it could be a good place for some wireless charger, but there is none. And then I have the USB-C. There's 2 of them. And then we have, of course, our 6-speed manual transmission. You can see it's a push and slide to get over into the rear. And then we have of course, manual handbrake. That's what you like to see. It does not get in the way of the shifter at all, which is very nice. Then I have some controls here for the infotainment. It's the little knob, but when you're in Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, it does become a touchscreen, so you don't really have to worry about this, but I don't actually mind using it. I actually find myself using it for pretty much the whole time. Then I have also the volume controls right here. You can open this, a tiny bit of storage as well. The cup holders as well are here. They can be removed, completely taken out. The passenger can have one right there, kind of, you know, right next to their leg, which is decent, or you can have them both here. Then I have the only storage available inside here, which you can see I have some stuff going on. You really have to be selective with what you're putting in there because there isn't a lot of room, but it does lock with the key fob key that's actually in here, because there's no glove compartment, there's no other storage besides the one in the center console, but that's it. Then take a look at the seats to highlight them. Very nice seats. I would have liked to try the Recaros. Unfortunately, my trim doesn't come with the Recaros. This is what you have to get. You got to get these normal kind of seats, but they're still very nice. The leather's very comfortable. It holds you well when you're, you know, when you're giving it some gas. It's very fun. Overall, a really, really great interior for the Mazda MX-5. I can't get enough of it. So, because of that, let me show you how it drives. I'm gonna strap the GoPro on my forehead. Top down, top up. We're gonna drive both, and you're gonna tell me what you think. Let's do it. All right, so now we're on the road where it belongs, in the Mazda MX-5, and oh boy, I feel like I should warn you, I am not the greatest manual driver you're ever gonna see here on YouTube. I don't have a lot of experience with it, but the good thing is the Mazda MX-5 doesn't require you to have a lot of experience. You can still have a ton of fun and not really always know what you're doing. Like, I don't have any auto rev match downshift, so I'm forced to learn how to do that. And the MX-5 is making it so easy for me to do it, and I'm understanding it so well. So you're just gonna have to bear with me. I might rev it a little bit high. Sometimes I'm perfect, sometimes I'm off. It's never the same. And I welcome your pointers and all that stuff. So if you have things that you think that I could be doing better when it comes to manual driving, don't be shy, you can tell me. So, as we get on to I kind of give myself some space here, but I probably won't catch that guy. So, let's give it some gas with the Mazda MX-5. Let's go, full beams. Oh yeah, and now I'm getting traffic, but still, look, that was only about 100 kilometers, and it felt fun, right? It wasn't fast, it wasn't crazy acceleration, it wasn't anything like we saw on, you know, say like a TLX Type S or like a Integra Type S manual, but I don't care, because that's the beauty of the MX-5. It's so small, so nimble, you feel so connected to the road when you're driving this thing, that even knowing you're not accelerating 0 to 60 in 3 seconds, you absolutely do not care. And that is the wonderful thing about it. I really thought that, you know, because I am pretty much a beginner manual driver, I wasn't going to be able to really take this thing to the limit, and then I wouldn't have fun because it only has 181 horsepower. And so if you can't drive this thing on the limit, you're not going to have fun. That is absolutely the furthest thing from the truth. I have had fun the entire week with the MX-5, and I'm not even that good at driving manual. And it's crazy to say that. Like, it's so easy to learn, so easy. The clutch is so easy. The bite point is so easy to tell. Also, this handling is absolutely fantastic. They've improved some stuff with the handling as well, which is really good. I mean, it's a slight change, but the manual drivers or the Mazda MX-5 drivers that I've seen do this car that have driven the previous generation say that it's a whole world better. We also have a helical limited slip differential, which also helps us through corners a lot better. So this thing on the track, you're not setting the lap record, but the amount of fun that you're gonna have is probably more fun than, again, something like an Integra Type S, which is really, really awesome. Mazda have such a great platform, and I'm so glad it's still here with a world that is full of electric vehicles. I am so glad that Mazda has still decided here in 2024 that they are still giving us the MX-5 with all its naturally aspirated 181 horsepower. I really can't complain about it. Let's talk a little bit of fuel economy. I have been doing 8.6 liters per 100 kilometers. I'm a little car. I have been pushing it. I haven't been shifting when it tells me. Like right now it tells me to go into 6, but I just don't care to do that. So I drive it the way I want to drive it, not the way that it kind of tells me that I should drive. Ooh, Nissan Z. Yeah, so look, when it comes to stuff like, I've driven the Nissan Z as well, and the Nissan Z is fun because it has a lot of power, but this is so much more fun because of the fact that, you know, it is a hardtop that can come down, and it could drive like a convertible, which I'm going to show you here in just a few seconds after I do my, you know, rev match downshifting like an absolute pro, right? I'm actually going to let it roll here. Usually I'd cut this out, but I'll let it roll. I'm going to pull into the parking lot, hopefully not disturb too many people, and we're going to drive with the top down for a little bit for the like last half of the video here. So let's pull into here. Another red Tesla, fantastic. Alrighty. Let's go like this. People are gonna look at me like I am absolutely nuts because of this this GoPro on my forehead. Like, what is this guy doing? But it's all for you guys. It's all so you can see just how cool these cars are. I think he's looking for a charger, that Tesla. I don't know. So now we will hold this. That's gonna come right down. The soft top is actually a lot quicker to do that with, but you know what? We're fine. All right, last but not least, windows come down, and we're ready to go. So I'm gonna actually lower the mic here because I'm worried about the audio being absolute garbage, but I guess we're just gonna roll with it. So here we go. It's absolutely freeing, this drop top kind of thing. It's actually my first time ever being weak. The last drop top or the last convertible car that I've driven was the Ferrari F430, I think that's what it was. It was, I wasn't filming cars at the time, so there's no video evidence of it, but, well, there is, but there's pictures, but I didn't actually do it. So this is my second experience with a convertible kind of car, and let me tell you, I like this more than the Ferrari because it's manual. That's really what makes the difference. Like, I feel so much more connected to the vehicle, and like, since there's so much weight savings, I just feel the road a lot more, and not in a bad way, not in an uncomfortable way. I feel it in a way that's just like freeing. It's so difficult to explain unless you drive one, and like, at first I didn't get it, and at first, like, I was like, why are people so obsessed with these before I drove it? I'm like, people are absolutely obsessed. Everybody I told that I had it booked, you know, coming up this summer, everybody's like, oh my god, you have to show me that car, I can't believe you have it. And I'm like, why? You know, what could be the appeal to that? It doesn't have a lot of horsepower, it doesn't have a lot of torque. Like, what is it? And then I drove it, and then I got used to it, and then I started to push it, and then I dropped the top, and now I get it. And now I absolutely understand what the obsession is, why so many people will take this over a Corvette, will do this. I mean, look, when I'm 60 and retired, and, you know, as long as I'm probably only going to shrink, so that's pretty good, and I can still fit in the vehicle, and I don't get absolutely massive, then, you know what? This might be the retirement car because you really don't need anything else. You can't get in trouble with this thing. Like, obviously, yeah, red, the drop top, so the cops are definitely looking at you if you're being extremely reckless, but like, when you're really pushing the throttle, since the acceleration isn't anything crazy, I mean, I don't know, I just wouldn't be as worried about getting in trouble with the police. So you can still have as much fun as you want, put your foot to the floor, row through the gears like a maniac, and just still be doing the speed limit, pretty much. And that is an excellent thing. And you can also hear the engine pretty good when the top is off, so that is also nice. When I'm rev matching it, you can hear it pretty well. It's not a very crazy sounding exhaust. There's no pops and bangs. I'm sure there's quite a few people who have modded this thing to be crazy, but honestly, the stock does it for me. I like the sound of it. You don't need this. I don't need to be a small package and this crazy loud thing. I think the sound matches the size, honestly, and yeah, it's just so much fun. I don't want to stop talking about it, but I think we've pretty much covered everything. The Mazda MX-5 is something that you probably drive in the summer most likely. I haven't seen very many at all in the winter. Those are some brave people, but with some good snow tires, you might be able to do it. I don't know. I don't know. I think it's dangerous, but for the summer, this thing shines. This is peak summer. I've had the best week of summer, you know, all year basically because of the MX-5, and yeah, I absolutely do not want to drop it off. I want to keep it. It doesn't have a lot of storage. Look, I mean, the tech isn't crazy. There's no really big manual assists on here, but just come and just drive it, and trust me, you're not going to care about any of that because it is such a good package, such a good platform. This review has been gushing. I hope you didn't come here expecting me to talk bad on the MX-5 because that's just probably never going to happen, especially if it only gets better from here. I hope Mazda continue to offer it because, you know, electric is kind of coming and hybrid is kind of coming. So I hope this isn't the last time we see this manual transmission because if it comes around again next year, you bet I'm going to take it. With that being said, make sure you subscribe, turn on the bell notification, because YouTube will not tell you when I post a new video. New videos every Friday and Wednesday for every single car that I drive, and there's a new car every single week. And that being said, I will see you in the next week. See you in the next car. Take care.